Hello and welcome to Hot Indonesia, especially to our new viewers in Singapore on StarHub Channel 171.
Hey.
I'm Dalton Tanonaka in Jakarta. Here is this week's HI Hot List. Hollywood dreams. What does an artist need to do to become a star? Overseas degree. Does it really matter if you went to school in Australia or the US? And loving Indonesia. What we miss the most when we travel and live abroad. Sitting next to me, as regular as a high-fiber diet, is Rahayu Saraswati, activist, parliament member, and still partying bride. How many more parties you got?
It's not me.
Okay,
people need to understand. It's the parents
All right.
here.
Yenny's out. In as guest host this day is Laura, actress, singer. We'll talk about that. And proud double major graduate. Welcome, Cinta.
Thank you.
Hot topic number 1, Hollywood dreams. The world is full of aspiring actors. Who wouldn't want to be in a major motion picture with a personal assistant and a trailer? Like this recent movie that featured, among a cast of hundreds, this young lady with us today. Now, the movie is called After the Dark, originally called The Philosophers. It was originally shot about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Released when you were just starting college.
Yep.
Released just as
Released, it was filmed prior to me starting college.
Released just as you graduated.
Yeah.
Generally good reviews. Why did it take so long and what happened?
All right, so After the Dark was shot in Indonesia, in Yogyakarta, aka Borobudur Temple, as well as Bromo, the volcanic mountain near Malang, and Belitung, a really beautiful island, I'd say northwest of Jakarta. And, you know,
Editing?
It was such a great experience, especially meeting so many accomplished, talented people. It was
there's a cast of hundreds.
Yeah,
literally,
I mean,
almost.
Bonnie Wright from Harry Potter, Freddie Stroma from Harry Potter, like Daryl Sabara from Spy Kids. Basically, people who's done
really
so many
young.
different things. And why did it take 3 years to air? Well, first of all, it's an indie movie, so it takes a while to find distribution companies to distribute the movie, but it's also because our director, John Hoddles, is an extreme perfectionist, and the editing just took, I think, 2 years or so. Like, that's why I love working with him, because I myself am also a perfectionist. To work with someone like that is always, you know,
and it had generally good
time.
reviews. I checked the internet. Yeah. They said pretty much the first half of the movie was great. It got a little at the end, the resolution of it. You know, you haven't seen it yet, I guess.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
So do not.
The DVD is out.
What I'm very proud of is the cinematography is amazing. You see these places and you're like, wow, Indonesia's gorgeous.
It was
it's not
gorgeous.
just Bali. Like, Indonesia consists of so many different places in addition to Bali, but there are so many other places, and like this movie does so well in promoting Indonesia in that sense.
Yeah, the movie was set in a Jakarta International School, and it's not college, it's college, not high school. It's high school. Okay. About a classroom exercise in which they envision the apocalypse and who would survive in the bunker, which members of their class would go. So it didn't do very well here at home. Yeah, better abroad.
Not true.
Okay, tell me.
Absolutely not.
Tell me, because it had a short run. I'm saying here.
Not true.
I'm enjoying this conversation. I'm enjoying this conversation.
Okay, well,
so the
Dalton
movie
always needs to dig
tell me,
himself
because
a hole.
I thought it was
the movie premiered in Indonesia last June, and for 1.5 weeks it was the most watched movie in the country, beating out all the other movies that was on at that point in time. It only started to slow down once Transformers came in, but obviously, like, who wouldn't want to watch Transformers?
Actually,
the
and
blockbuster
I fell asleep
movie.
during Transformers.
Did you?
Yeah, and I did.
There you go. But prior to that,
it was boring.
Dalton Tanonaka.
It was.
No, actually, no, I agree. Why are we talking about this? And aren't we supposed to go back to the whole Hollywood dreams thing?
Yes, and let's get back there. Okay, so we established that the movie. Okay, good reviews.
But the movie did also did great in showing, you know, making us think. Like, if you were in a classroom full of friends, would you choose those? Would you use logic or your emotions? Like, would you choose your friends because you love them, or would you choose someone who actually has a sufficient skill sets
they all
to
had, like, she was an
rebuild the
opera
world?
singer.
It was like almost an end of the world thing.
Yeah,
right?
I was an opera singer who could speak 7 languages, but there's a dilemma but you have to watch it if you want to know.
Right, exactly.
I
So
don't want to
don't
like give it
ruin
away
it
for
for
me.
me.
So
Okay.
buy the DVD.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Okay.
the Blu-ray DVD in the States is doing really well. And it was also like a blockbuster movie in Russia and Ukraine.
Very cool.
So it did well.
It's out on
Good.
DVD here. So
Good.
forgive
Yes.
me. I thought it was a short run. Okay. Now, Sarah, be a big sister here. You know,
Oh, big sister.
Yeah. You know, she's about to leave for LA to try
Right.
her luck at the movie industry.
Right.
What would you say to her? What advice would you give to her?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, one of the things that, people didn't know this, but it's not, I actually chose not to go because of the chances that I had here, which is completely different from, it's once in a lifetime, the Meraputi, the red and white trilogy.
Okay.
What I did, which helped me a lot, and I would say this to a lot of aspiring actors, would be to go for a networking week. And there are actually companies or even people who provide that services to go for a networking week. So you would meet with the heads of casting of MGM. You would meet with really, really great acting coaches. I met with Margie Haber, which is one of the most well-known acting coaches. Things like that, just getting your foot through the door. But I'm assuming you already have representation, though.
Yeah, she
so
does.
Yeah, I'm
So that
really
helps.
prepared, to be honest.
You have signed deals? Or
I have,
what?
yeah. I have a manager already. Like, I already have a contract with her, and
well, the movie
and-
that movie would definitely help, because if you have something that's already pushing
But
you in before going
not
there.
only that, I also know LA very well, and I have many connections already, thanks to the Philosophers or
Right.
After the Dark. And 6 months ago, actually, I got contacted directly by the casting director of Star Wars Episode 7 to audition for the lead role.
That's good.
And so,
Which is very different from what I'm saying is her situation is very different from most aspiring actresses. Like, she's not an aspiring actress
Yeah,
because
she has
she's
something
already
under her belt and
established.
she's only 21.
It's completely different from what most would have to go through when you go over there and you don't have something like the
Well, she
Philosophers
has a
under your
foot in the
belt.
door, but now it's a whole big world.
no, I'd say I'm starting from the bottom, I have to audition a lot. I can't just like
But
get
I think every
roles.
single actor, even when you're even when you're on the level of, Sandra Bullock and all that, they still
They
need
still
to go
audition,
through
yeah.
auditions.
They don't
Right.
audition. Sandra Bullock
They
doesn't
do.
audition.
They do. They
audition.
do reads.
I mean, they're selected. They're selected by the production house. Hey, do you want to do this movie? But they still have to audition because
Yeah.
it might be like between Sandra Bullock and Angelina Jolie or something.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
I know who I choose. Okay. Hey, and you
Let
know
me
what?
guess.
And
legs.
George Clooney's out of the picture for a while, right? He's a little busy right now.
Well, he's one of those. I've come to really respect him, though. I mean,
What, for getting married?
No.
Oh, that's what I'm
Doesn't.
referring to.
As in, he really makes his decisions on which projects, and
I'm
and
talking
he
about
has
getting
his head
married, nothing to
straight.
do about his-
I know,
yeah,
but
all
we're
right.
talking about the
You got
Hollywood.
married, you got
Not
married.
George Clooney.
Huh? I like. He's my, I love him. Okay.
He just has to put in his favorite.
Hot Indo will continue shortly. Is it worth getting an overseas diploma?
Indonesia opens up my heart. Unforgettable. Love is just the start. Indonesia touches my soul. Keeps my heart always warm from the cold. A very beautiful place. And a friendly smile. Heaven is this place on earth. Wonderful Indonesia. The power of love. Surprises of love. All your dreams will all come true.
The Indonesia Channel for the world to see.
Hello, I am Ahok, Governor of Jakarta. Congratulations on the launching of the Indonesia Channel. I hope success for all of us.
The Indonesia Channel is the country's first 24-hour English TV channel. And it's cool, offering a stylish mix of entertainment and news programs created for viewers around the world. You'll see the latest fashion trends in the world's fourth most populous country, play executive golf with host Lorraine Hahn, plus movies, dramas, and travel, all on the Indonesia Channel for the world to see.
Indo Cinema on the Indonesia Channel. The best of Bali, only on the Indonesia Channel.
You're watching Hot Indonesia with Chinta, Sarah, and me. Here's hot topic number 2, overseas degree. Parents work hard to provide it. Kids make up their wish lists while learning to walk. Well, maybe not that young, but going to school abroad is prestigious and expensive. But it opens doors more quickly for young people entering the job market, or does it? Will an employer here, do you think, choose a Stanford degree over a University of Indonesia diploma?
That really does depend a lot on the field that they're going into, on the employer that's going to look at these potential employees. It really depends a lot, Dalton.
Okay, one job, 2 candidates, equal qualifications, but one has an overseas degree, one has an Indonesian degree. Who would you choose as an employer? Is there an advantage, I'm saying?
Well, if it's well, first of all, you
spot
need
here.
I know,
I'm putting you on the spot.
I said it. I said my piece, which is that it really does depend on the field.
Okay, but I'm saying if
it's
all
a bit
things are equal, does it give you an edge? What do you think, Chinta? She's not sure.
Okay,
No,
to
it's
be
not that I'm
honest,
not sure,
in
I
my
know.
opinion, I think no matter what country you go to, there'll always be amazing universities. So at the end of the day, I feel like, when you're qualified, you're qualified. It doesn't matter if you go to Stanford or Columbia University or
That's
Harvard or UI or Majaya. It
Okay,
doesn't
so now
matter.
all the parents there are crying because they spend a lot of money sending their kids overseas.
But we are living in a very materialistic, capitalistic world. People care about names, brands, you name it, and obviously, if you said what's the top 5 what are the top 5 universities in the world, people would say Harvard, Columbia, Oxford,
Right.
Stanford, Cambridge, and so if you want to look prestigious, then of course, go for the Ivy Leagues, go for these big names. But at the end of the day, I think you can get high quality education in many other universities who
And
don't
that's
have
exactly-
big names.
Well,
Yeah,
my point then, I guess,
exactly
is
my
maybe
point.
it'll get you in the door if you have a Harvard degree, but when you're making the final decision, it doesn't matter. Okay, it gets you a first look.
I'm not going to deny the fact that it does somewhat help. And it's more eye-catching when an employer looks at your resume and sees,
Columbia.
oh, Columbia
Yeah, of
University
course.
over blah, blah, blah university. They're going to be like, oh, Columbia.
And the thing is, I'm coming from the point of view of someone who's looking into resumes, getting all these. And yes, Dalton, it does make a difference because you know the standard of school, but I'm not saying that university, UI, is any less prestigious than Stanford.
I'm not
it's
saying
the
that.
best in the country,
Yeah, of course,
right?
of
It's one
course.
of the best
It's
in
like
the
the
country.
Harvard of Indonesia.
Exactly. So you can't say by going abroad, it's a lot better. Sometimes you need, when you're working in Indonesia, you need the local knowledge. But I can tell you this, a lot of my friends, when I went to University of Virginia, it was number 3 in the United States. But being a graduate from University of Virginia, which is number 3 could be in the world, did not actually guarantee getting jobs. It was so difficult.
of course.
And
The
it's
rest is
still
up to you.
difficult right
Okay.
now.
Now, going to-
in this time and age to
understand.
get
Got the point. Got
jobs,
the point.
even
Now-
with a PhD.
Overseas education, not just about the classroom anyway, right? I mean, parents want different experiences for their kids, so
Yes.
the living abroad for the first time
The
is a part of it, right?
The networking and the
networking is
experience.
But just having fun to see New York,
The
to see
experience
Virginia.
helps.
To be
The
honest,
experience helps.
my parents didn't decide. Like, it was all me. Like, as I said, I'm a perfectionist, I'm a hard worker. When I want something, I would do anything to achieve it. And my goal was to get into either an Ivy League institution or, you know, whatever is considered top 5, top 10. That was my goal. I refused to be in anything else.
And you did it.
I did it. Yeah, and so Columbia University is obviously an Ivy League institution, top 5 in the States, perhaps in the world, I don't know, but definitely in the States.
Yep.
It's above Stanford.
But what should kids do,
And,
Chinta?
you know, that was just me being ambitious and wanting not only a great
Well,
education, but also the name.
it's your drive. Now, what should
Yeah.
kids do who maybe want to attend school overseas but don't know if they can, or they can't afford it?
Okay.
What advice would you give?
My advice is to not only focus on academics. Lots of kids have it wrong. They're like, oh, I have to get all A pluses. No, that's not the case. To get into a great university, in America specifically, because that's where I went, that's what I know, first of all, obviously you need good grades. But you also need to be a well-rounded individual. Like, for example, in my case, I was a varsity athlete, basketball and track. I did lots of social work because my family, we have a foundation called Sukarsino Peduli, which aims on rebuilding dilapidated schools in the area of Bogor. So I did lots of social work. And then I was part of the NHS National Honor Society, representing top 10% of
Right.
my high school. I was an art actress, I was a singer. So I proved to the universities I applied to that I was a well-rounded individual. I wasn't only focused on my academics, but I was an athlete, I was an entertainer.
So do what you can here
Yeah.
to get opportunities for scholarships,
You need to
grants,
really branch
right?
out.
I think
Yeah.
a lot of students. She's correct. I mean, actually, it's really funny hearing her background. It's almost like a photocopy of mine,
Well,
except
you
I
both
did soccer.
are
I was a
overachievers.
yeah, I was a
Or-
varsity. You know, a lot of people don't know this. I was playing right backer, and I also
In what? What sport?
soccer.
Oh,
American, not
okay.
American football. Sorry.
You should be on the Metaputi
Football.
Indonesia.
Not anymore.
Yeah. First
and,
woman.
and you know, and again, track and doing all of that, and again, social work is very, very important. Here's the thing. That's mainly for American colleges. English
Yeah,
colleges
it's
are
different.
British, very different.
That's very academic.
Very,
for
it's quite
England.
academic. However, they're starting to, they
Yeah.
are starting to look at whether
Like,
or not you're well-rounded.
But when I was in high school, I did this curriculum called the IB Diploma, and in England, getting a top score in your IB is going to help you tremendously
Yes.
Okay.
to getting into
Right.
Oxford or Cambridge.
But here's maybe one thing that I would give to, you know, a lot of the students more in Indonesia.
Okay.
Here's the thing. Really quickly, you need to start looking into it earlier than
Yeah.
just your final your
you need to
final
look
year.
into it
It's
from like 10th grade.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
the latest.
The
I was already
latest.
looking
It's
into
so
it in 9th
competitive, yeah.
grade.
yeah, well, because you need to start looking into which classes you want to take
Yeah.
in order to take you to those majors.
Yeah.
and,
Okay,
you
all
know,
good advice.
so-
And if you do go to school here, that's a good decision. But to keep up with those abroad, I would say learn a second or third language, travel when you can, just to keep up with those who do
And
overseas,
if
right?
you can't afford a full round, you do need to then bring yourself forward and see what scholarships you can actually
Yeah,
apply
and
for.
I went to school on scholarships as well. Okay,
Well-
more Hot Indo
well
is coming
done,
up.
Z.
What some people pack in their suitcases when they go on vacation.
iPod playlist is superb.
Bali, it's the experience of a lifetime.
For these sisters, fashion design has been a lifelong passion.
It's a hot time on Indonesia's 24-hour English TV channel. We inform and entertain. Promise.
We have total, I think, 136 courses in Indonesia, and just around Jakarta area is like about 28
I am Ong Pingan in Phnom Penh.
And I'm Dalton Tanonaka in Jakarta.
For me personally, apart from Bali, I love Belitung Island.
Oh, Belitung Island is so beautiful.
I'm one of those, I grew up with Disney, okay? And when you grow up with Disney princesses, you kind of already get... Uh-oh, is this what I'm getting into for my kids? Yeah, your kids. No.
Indonesia's first 24-hour English TV channel is here, with an exciting mix of programming to inform and entertain viewers around the world. The Indonesia channel offers something for everyone, from world-class lifestyle shows like Yoga Bliss to the hottest music hits and artists on iPop. News and information are an important part of the Indonesia channel, with Today's Indonesia and ASEAN Today providing what you need to know. International hosts such as Lorraine Han, Jamie Aditya, Caitlin Turner, and Dalton Tanonaka are among the faces you'll see. Movies, dramas, travel, and more are all on the Indonesia channel for the world to see. You are watching Hot Indonesia from Jakarta. Here's hot topic number 3, loving Indonesia. Now, when anyone leaves their home country, there is the usual longing for certain things. Now, when you go away to school, from here, you pack your sambal and tolok angin. When you go on vacation, you pack your sambal and your tolok angin. The comforts of home are...
I know what's in your luggage.
Comforts of home never very far away if you take them with you. Chinta, what things did you take and what things did you send home for?
Well, you know, throughout my life, I lived in several different countries.
Yes,
so
but many people know you're half German, so you were
Yeah.
born in Germany, so you have a bicultural kind of situation.
yeah, but for me, what I miss most about Indonesia and can't live without when I'm abroad is sambal, because I love spicy food. And sometimes when I cook in my dorm, you know, I'm lacking certain ingredients such as cabai rawit, which is the very spicy chili.
You like hot stuff.
I love cabai rawit, and they don't have that in the States, so I usually have to settle for the Mexican habanero, which is not as spicy and not as good. So,
So you didn't ask your mom to send you something or send bottles of it, or?
yeah, I usually bring those bottled chili sauce,
That's what
but
I
I
mean,
can't
see?
really use it to cook. For cooking, I would like
The
the
fresh
real
chili, yeah?
cabai rawit.
The fresh, missing certain food, of course, that's a big
Yeah.
item. And you know, being a Hawaii guy, I look for spam in the stores here, and sales, but there never are because there isn't much
there
spam.
are those
You know what spam
here.
is, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, Americans love it. Sarah, what?
I'm kind of weary of spam.
Okay, well, let's not go there. Sarah, what things do you tuck away in your
That I tuck
carrying
away.
case or your suitcase when you?
Minyak angin. It's
Minyak.
yeah,
Similar
minyak.
to-
So it's not so tolak angin is the thing that you drink, right?
Yes.
This is like
You
the
snort?
lotion that
Oh, you rub.
on
Oh,
me,
like
you know?
balsam sort of.
Yes, except this is
Like
minyak
Vicks?
angin. The one that I use is
oil.
aromatherapeutic.
Oh,
so
minyak.
it's not like this. You know, when you go in the plane and you're like, okay, somebody just put the
Is that
balsam
olive
on.
oil?
It's
like
no,
a- no,
it's
that's a-
It's in the form of
made
oil,
like it's like
but
yeah, but it's you know it's like I don't know what is it in it.
keeps you warm.
Keeps you warm. There you go.
And now she has a husband,
you know,
so that he keeps
He
you
can
warm.
keeps you. Yeah.
Okay, what about services like domestic help? Of course, people miss that. Caddies, I miss that.
To be honest, I don't miss
Yeah.
domestic help. I enjoy cleaning my own room, scrubbing my own bathroom.
That's not what your mother told me.
And I do my own laundry. I enjoy that
moms
kind
just
of
kind of-
independence.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good.
Our moms
But you know,
basically just become like they ask like, really? You survived all this
No,
time?
yeah, but to be honest, it's because my dad's German, though. So you know, and
You grew up
at
with,
home.
like-
he was always very disciplined and
And
strict
neat, and hotelier, right?
Yeah,
So-
he's also a hotelier. So we were always very, very organized and clean. Like he made me like do some chores so that I wouldn't be too
That's a
spoiled.
good dad. That's a good dad. Okay. What about the language? Do you miss speaking it? Sometimes when you're in the middle of all English, you say, "I wish I could speak Indonesian to somebody."
Oh well. Because you know my native language is English, so at home I always speak English, and so speaking English 24/7 is
Okay.
It's almost helpful in a way.
Yeah,
Okay, how about
it's
the malls? You miss the malls here?
I can't stand the malls. When I'm in Jakarta, I'm like, oh, but you know, my parents live in Bali, right?
Yeah.
So every time I come to Indonesia, I usually go to Bali, and I love Bali. I mean, who doesn't love Bali?
Except now the traffic is horrendous.
No, the new toll road really
that helps.
helped.
That helps a little bit.
And I live in the south, so I don't have to deal with traffic.
Near you?
No, I don't know. I'm also
Nusa
in the
Dua?
south, but no, I'm on the other side. I'm
They're
on
on the
Jimbaran.
Jimbaran side. Yeah. Okay, so food's it then, I guess.
No,
Chili
Food,
and
I miss the culture, you know,
Yeah.
like all
There
the
you go.
traditional dances,
Yes.
like
waiting
when
for you guys to bring that up.
the Javanese dance, Sundanese
Well,
dances,
you were asking about what to
Balinese
put
dance.
in the luggage.
And you know what? I miss the people because Indonesia has the friendliest people. They have the friendliest people in the world. Like when you go to New York, for example, nobody's gonna smile at you and say good morning.
New York is
When you
different, though.
come
I
here-
have to say, New York is very
but
different.
still, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
Indonesians, they're gonna smile and say good morning to anyone, no matter who they are.
You're right. From the guy at the door to the
But-
drivers to the.
To be honest, now being back in Indonesia and living here for a while, I do miss America. I miss living there because
that's
there are
reverse
certain
what we're
things
talking
like,
about.
like discipline, like on the road, you know, that cleanliness. I miss that.
That's the
so
different-
that's the other way
that's
around.
next week,
I know,
yeah.
right?
Okay.
Where you live, though, if you go to like the Bronx,
I'm sorry, but I don't look. I'm sorry, but I don't look at New York as like New York
New
is
York's
New York.
a different place.
I lived
Okay.
in Virginia, which I had ranches and horses living right next
she
door.
had the
so
fairy tale
I
princess kind of
literally
thing. All right.
it wasn't princessy. You could ask every single Charlottesville, resident.
Right. Okay. It is feedback time. Please let us know what you're thinking after watching us emote. Dave posted this on our Facebook page. I don't think Indonesia will be a great nation with the incoming leader. Well, that's your opinion and we respect it, but I think everyone hopes that we are on our way to greatness. Now, if you have any feedback on what you've heard or would like to suggest a topic for us to tackle, please email us at hotindo@theindonesiachannel.com or comment through our Indonesia channel, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram pages. Final words, Cinta.
Well, to refer to the comment, I really do hope that Indonesia can continuously improve as a nation, and I have great faith in the new leader. And, I'll try my best to continuously promote Indonesia and make Indonesia look good globally. And so wish me luck with my career in the future. I would like to prove to the world that Indonesia has talented people, and, we're a great nation with great people, and we have lots of potential.
Yes, and good luck to you. Final word, Sarah.
Of course, for this Sunday, obviously Idul Adha, Selamat Idul Adha for all the Indonesians and all my Muslim friends out there and relatives. And aside from that, I know that the state of, again, referring to the comment, I know that the state of Indonesia perhaps has been a bit dubious for some people and a bit it concerns a lot of people about where we are headed. But here's the thing. People need to start realizing that they are part of this country and that, yes, voting does count. If you are voting for the right leaders to choose the right leaders, then we wouldn't be having this kind of problem and this kind of issue. The other thing I want to mention, I'm sorry, making this a bit long, is that it's a bit concerning for me to find how the foreign press has been saying things and almost instigating a lot of stress amongst our citizens by saying, oh, democracy is dying in Indonesia. Simply by having an indirect election for the local governors and the local mayors does not mean democracy is dying. Indirect election is also a form of democracy. So please, I ask all my foreign press out there to give us the time to start growing into our democracy.
Okay, on that though, Sarah, my final words are, it's ironic and a bit sad that what student protesters in Hong Kong are braving tear gas for is something we gave up rather easily, or too easily here at home. The decision to give up direct elections at the regional level is a step back for democracy. Ask any student in Hong Kong today. The Constitutional Court can still reverse Parliament's decision. I want to be able to face my friends in Hong Kong. And that is Hot Indonesia for this week. For Sarah and Cinta, I'm Dalton Tanonaka in Jakarta. See you again next time.